At my heaviest, I was 382 pounds. Thankfully, I didn't have a whole lot of like a ton of health problems. I never did have like a health scare. Some people would say they had like when they were really overweight and they had to make that change to save their life. That wasn't mine, but I'm sure it was coming anytime if I didn't make the right choices. But now, like, it's just opened up a lot more areas where like my weight doesn't get in the way, so to speak. I've really been dialing into my physical fitness as well. So with a lot of strength training, meeting tons of goals every week, just setting new PRs for myself and just feeling great. Like I've never been in such a happy spot, both physically, but also mentally as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And now kind of looking back and looking back at our time together when we worked together, for quite a while, almost 2 years. What are some of the results and wins that you're most proud of since we started working together, or even before, since you started your journey?
Probably my biggest achievement that I ever made. And this was one of those 6 a.m. phone calls that I made to you when I think it was in December.
Best day ever, by the way.
In my first year of losing weight, I lost 151 pounds in my first year. That was like probably the biggest transformation out of them all. Like, I mean, I feel like, I've made great transformations and done great things since then, but like, that was just kind of like the high peak of all of this was like, holy shit, I just lost 150 pounds in 1 year. And that alone, that was a really big moment. I think also working through a lot of, and this one's more of like a mental change that I've had throughout this past transformation. It was like getting through like the body image stuff. I know I've been working a lot on that as well. Being someone who's lost a lot of weight, it's a struggle for me as well. And, it's still not great, of course, all the time, but working on it, continually to this day. And I think you've helped with a lot of that and just kind of ways to kind of process that and think about it, and journaling, and it's kind of gotten into meditation more with that, all this like mindset stuff that like a lot of us don't think is a part of this weight loss journey that really needs to be. That's been a big one.
How have those changes that you've experienced in your time working with us, how have those changes helped you to live a more fulfilled life, helped you get more out of life, helped you like living your full potential?
Oh man, like I think a lot of this goes back to that mindset stuff. It's just like living a more abundant mindset, but then also just like learning to like just live my life and not be stuck in fear and like worried about always trying to lose weight, or always like, focused on like this whole weight loss stuff is a part of my life. It's not my life. Like, it's like I've been able to do so much more. I'm not limiting myself to, my size and all the things I never used to do. I mean, just like, it just comes up all the time. Like, and I feel like I'm not holding myself back. Like I am able to have a more social life. I'm able to, go on a plane without having, the seatbelt extender, like, a little like thing like that. And just like, or being able to like go on vacation and go swimming, be able to swim without my shirt on, like things like that. Just like, I'm not constantly living in like the fear of like my size is holding me back. I feel like I can really do anything I want to now. What
were some of the hesitations, the doubts, or the fears that you had about your ability to be successful with this type of program? Like, oh, it works for other people, but it's not going to work for me, that kind of thing. Is there anything that comes up when you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it wasn't necessary for a while. Like, I mean, even, like the first time we chatted about coaching, I turned you down and I was like, I'm doing just fine myself. I don't need coaching right now. And honestly, I just didn't see the benefit of it. And I think back and really wish I would have started by then, and think about how much further I would even be. But from that point forward, it's like, I was very hesitant because I just didn't see how having an online coach, someone who's like, just like, I'm going to be meeting once a week or once every 2 weeks, like on Zoom, like how that's going to like impact my life. Like I didn't see that, how that was even possible. But I think having that structure and putting that in putting it on somebody else's plate, like, having someone else come up with like, tell me what to do sometimes. Of course, you always like ask me for my feedback and help and allow me to help you construct those plans because it wanted to be for me, but not having to do that all myself. And then also having that accountability has been the main thing that's been helpful for me, and being able to have someone to answer to, someone to be able to text, middle of the night and be like, I'm really struggling here. Like, I need your help. Like, those couple of times that's been what I needed to get through this process. And I kind of wonder, like, if a coach at that time, like where would I be now? Where would I have given up at a certain point?
What would you tell someone who is on the fence and considering joining coaching with us?
Stop thinking about it, just do it. Like, I mean, it's you can either sit there and dwell on it and dwell on it and dwell on it and never make a decision, or you can make the decision to go ahead and proceed. I mean, honestly, like, what's the worst that could happen? You don't change. But I can almost guarantee you that won't be the case.
And in all of the people we've ever worked with, nobody has ever come into this program and not changed for the better. There have been people who have realized, no, this maybe isn't for me, or that kind of thing. But everybody's changed. Everybody's improved. Mm-hmm. It's like when you're working alongside a coach, like, you're guaranteeing you will move forward. Can't guarantee you're going to reach your goal because that's on you, but you're guaranteeing you're going to move forward.